I know just how frustrating it can be when you feel like you're pouring everything into getting sales calls, but for whatever reason, nothing is working. A year ago, I was in the exact same position. I was running paid ads, I was joining Facebook groups, I was doing cold emails and doing cold calls, and for whatever reason, nothing was working. Now, a year later, I have finally found a way to use Instagram DM to book me 3 to 5 sales calls every single day. In this video, I'll talk about profile setup, scraping unlimited leads, writing an offer that makes it super hard to say no, and using automation to send over 1,000 DMs every single day. And you should stay till the end of the video where I reveal just how many clients I was able to add using this method. A lot of people think that their Instagram profile is the main reason why it's so hard for them to book calls using Instagram DM. And a year ago, I honestly thought that too. I had a super professional looking account. My headshot that was taken in my undergraduate business school was my profile picture. I had the most boring, bland bio ever. And I thought that I needed to have this huge following to get people to open my DMs and respond to me. But I was completely wrong. The most important key to successfully booking sales calls using Instagram DM is looking human. These business owners are pitched every single day, so when they see an overly polished, professional looking business account reaching out to them, they already assume that they are going to get pitched, and they immediately put their guard up and might not even open the DM. Which is why it's best to use a personal account when you're doing your outreach. So the account that you want to use for outreach should look like a normal personal account. Again, the main goal here is looking human. So I'd have at least 9 photos to fill your feed and just show some type of proof of life. I would also have over 300 followers. There is some correlation between the amount of followers that you have and the amount of responses that you'll get, and there are a million different ways that you can buy followers to add to your account. What I personally like to do is buy aged Instagram accounts off of bulk accounts buy. It's super simple. You can go straight to their website, or you can directly message them on WhatsApp. I'll put their number right here somewhere, and you'll tell them exactly what type of accounts you're looking for, and they'll send you a quick Stripe buy link. And as a pro tip, I would have a separate business account on deck, because naturally, if you're doing outreach in Instagram DM, they're probably going to ask to see your business account. So here, it's okay to have your pretty standard, normal looking, polished, professional business profile, because this isn't what you're going to be using to do outreach at the end of the day. Next, we'll jump into finding prospects. A lot of people don't know that you can actually scrape a ton of leads off of Instagram basically for free. First things first, your target audience obviously has to be on Instagram, and the key to finding them is through hashtags and the follower list of accounts that you think your ideal client would follow. So for example, if I'm targeting real estate agents, I can easily look up hashtag REAgent and reach out to all of the accounts that have posted using this hashtag. There are also coaches in literally every industry. So if I look up real estate coach, I could find a bunch of different accounts who are followed by real estate agents. And a lot of these accounts have pretty sizable followings, so you'll have pretty long lists of potential leads to reach out to. And the same thing goes for events. I personally love scraping from event accounts because, for example, I was targeting lash artists and lash business owners, and every single lash artist that I spoke to would talk about this event called LashCon. And so I could easily look up LashCon on Instagram and find a ton of lash artists that were following that event account for me to reach out to. And because I see that they're following this lash artist event that's about being able to level up in your lash business, that signals to me that these artists are even stronger contenders for my outreach because they've shown interest in investing in some type of business growth by following an event account. Suppliers are also a great one. Bringing it back to the lash industry, I know that Elibana is a super high-end supplier for my ideal clients, and so naturally, it's the same thought process. The lash artists that are following Elibana are willing to invest more in luxury supplies, so they would probably be more willing to invest in my services if they thought that they were worth it at the end of the day. But I would never ever advise scraping leads manually, especially now when we have tons of automation tools at our disposal. The one that I love using is called IG Growman. You get a certain amount for free, and it's an awesome tool that just scrapes the follower lists or the hashtags of whatever niche or target market you're going after. And once you have your prospects, how do you start sending your DMs? There are 3 things you can do to double the likelihood that an owner will open your DM and hop on a sales call with you. First, I would follow the owner. So what happens when you send a DM on Instagram and the other person doesn't follow you back is that your message goes into their request folder rather than their actual inbox. So by following the owner, you increase the likelihood that they give you a follow back and their outreach message lands in the right inbox. Next, I would like 3 posts, and the goal here is to just flood their notification inbox to catch their attention. And the third one, which is arguably the most important, is commenting. I know it can be kind of corny, but believe me, it actually works. I found that commenting really changes the game and is super effective for follow-ups. So what I typically do is I'll leave a compliment on a post that aligns to the industry or the niche, and then I'll ask the owner to check their DM. Which brings us to our next topic, which is sending the first message. Stop thinking that you need to build rapport in the DMs before you ask for a sales call. There's a lot of commotion on whether or not you need to do this, but my advice is to shoot straight away and just completely skip the rapport, because believe me, you simply don't have time for it. Now I'll make a separate video on everything that goes into writing a really strong initial outreach message, but for now, all you need to know is that having a strong initial message requires 3 components: your intro, your offer, and your call to action. Your intro grabs the attention of the lead and is supposed to create that intrigue. You'll notice that a lot of my intros are intentionally out of pocket, and that's the tactic that I personally use to get the owner to keep reading. You'll see what I mean in a little when we go through some examples that I really like. The next component is your offer, and your offer addresses whoever it is that you are targeting. It talks about the end result that you're going to achieve, how long it's going to take to achieve that, and what you are or aren't using to achieve that. And lastly, we end the message with a call to action, essentially directing them to learn more and eventually hop on a sales call. Here are some strong examples that I've seen. Hi, LOL, I know you don't know me, but if I told you I could get you 7 lash appointments within the week without paid ads, would you be open to chatting? So here our intro is, hi, LOL, I know you don't know me, which if I were receiving a message like that, the next thought that I'm most likely to have is, who is reaching out to me? And then we have the offer, which is 7 lash appointments within a week, which is a time interval. And then they mention without paid ads, which eliminates a lot of hesitations that these owners have when people are pitching them, because a lot of the time they assume that all you're going to do is run them Facebook ads. Here's another one. I've been thinking about you and wanting to tell you that I added 8 new lash clients within 3 days without posting on social media. Are you interested in chatting? And another one. I swear you've never heard this before, but I have a proven system to get you 20K TikTok followers within the next week without posting a million times a day. Want to chat about it? Here's another one. Tried to send this last week. I can guarantee that you'll get twice as many views if you say this one specific thing in the beginning of your video. Want to hear it? And like I touched on with the first message, you'll notice that each of these offers eliminates some type of risk or initial assumption that the lead might have about whatever it is that you're doing to achieve that desired end result. Essentially, people want to hear that they can achieve XYZ with as little effort as possible in as little time as possible. And of course, I would never advise that you send these messages manually. I send thousands of DMs from my agency every single day using this one automation tool. It's a super simple plugin that you add to your Chrome, and you can either automate your DMs to the custom lead list that you scraped earlier using IG Growman, or you can automate DMs to the follower list of those accounts that you think your ideal clients would follow, or you can send your DMs based on all the accounts that posted with a certain hashtag. It's called IG DM Bot. And because I do my outreach from multiple accounts, I'm able to maximize the amount of sales calls that I can get. Now, just to note, Instagram does have a max of 50 messages per day, but I would never advise making a fresh account and just sending those numbers right away, because the algorithm will think that you're spamming the community if you're going from 0 to 100 just like that. Definitely don't make that mistake, because I did when I was first starting out, which is why it's important to buy those warmed aged accounts. Which brings us to the most important part about Instagram outreach, or honestly any type of outreach. Successful outreach is one massive numbers game. When people tell me that Instagram DM doesn't work to get clients, the first question that I always ask is, okay, well, how many messages did you send? And if the number is, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 20, then I know exactly what the issue is. Now, if you do this correctly, you can see up to a 5% booked calls rate on Instagram. So from here, it's honestly super simple, because all you would need to do is reverse engineer the number of messages that you need to send when you think about how many calls you're willing to take in a week. And if you stick to the numbers every single day and really hold yourself to it, I guarantee that you will be able to land a few clients within your first week of doing this outreach. And if you stuck around to the end of the video, within just 1 month of using Instagram DM to get clients and consistently hitting the numbers, I sent 2,500 DMs, booked 120 sales calls, and signed 15 new clients. I probably would have signed even more knowing what I know now about sales, but I was honestly just starting up and sales was super intimidating to me at the time. And honestly, just getting sales calls was such a struggle for me. So if you're feeling the same way, click the link below. I would love to chat and show you how you can get over 100 sales calls every single month too. And I also have a few free guides below that might help if you want to check those out as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.